What's going on, everyone? This is Badass Revere, and today I'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Doctor Strange Wave or Dormammu Build-A-Figure Nico. I think that's how you say it, Niko, Nico? I think that's what everyone else has been calling her, but that's just what I'm going to say. Please don't put it in the comments because however way you say it, I'm still not going to know exactly how you're pronouncing it, but I'm just going to go with Nico. But pretty cool figure. I don't know too much about this character. I haven't really looked into her character too much. She seems pretty cool, and the figure for her has quite a bit of stuff going on, which is nice. It seems like they put a lot of effort into this character, which is kind of funny because it seems like they don't put a whole lot of characters, or they don't put a whole lot of effort in all their characters sometimes. But this one came out pretty nice. I like the way she looks. I like the colors. And it's pretty cool. The head sculpt is really nice. I think this is a really great looking head sculpt. The paint, or like the skin tone, looks really nice. The eyes are painted great. The lipstick's painted nice. I like the sculpting of her hair, which looks great. Doesn't look like there's a lot of paint going on in the hair. It doesn't look like they added any kind of wash, but you know, that's fine with me. A good sculpt goes a long ways, as long as everything else looks decent. So yeah, I think it's a pretty decent looking, well, when I say decent, I mean to say that she's a pretty great looking figure, which I wasn't expecting to like her so much, but apparently, and I'm not the only one because I've heard other people say that they really like her a lot too. So this is just using the Jubilee mold or the Spider-Girl mold, which is a pretty good figure for teenage female molds. It looks like they have done some sculpting work on her. The torso area looks like it's completely new. The arms, I'm sure, are just reused, but they did give her interchangeable arms, which I'm trying to find. So in the package, she comes with this hand, or this arm here, which it's just her without her powers on, and then this arm you can take out, which is kind of a pain in the butt, and I'm a little afraid that it's going to break. But this one is got a bit of a translucent purple, and it's got this little gauntlet thing going on here. And like I said, I don't know too much about the character. I'll have to look into her. But the gauntlet looks pretty cool. I'm definitely going to pose her this way because it looks way better. Especially since she's got this staff here, which has a little purple effect going on, which I think you can take out. Yeah, you can take it out, and she can hold it without it, or you can put it on and she can hold it with it powered on, or whatever's going on with it. I will say though, it does make it a little heavy, and it can make her arm kind of fall down. And on mine, it seems like her wrist is a little bit loose, and the hand, it's kind of hard to get a good grip on it with her hand. So it makes it a little bit harder too when her wrist is loose a little bit. So I don't know if maybe there's a way I could pop that out. I'm a little scared, but maybe if I could pop it out and put some super glue in that joint, make it a little bit tighter, which I think it's mostly just in the hinge itself, not so much the actual wrist swivel. But anyways, the sculpt looks really nice. The figure, her torso area, it looks really thin compared to some of the other female figures. So that's why I think it's a brand new mold, especially since like in the chest area, her blouse is sculpted. It's not just painted on, so there is a bit of sculpting there. It sticks out, I guess I should say. It sticks out at the straps too, which is nice. And it just looks like the torso itself is very small, especially in her stomach area. It looks very thin, and it also has sculpting going on in her stomach area, which is why I also think that this is a brand new torso, which is nice. Wasn't really expecting them to completely give us a new sculpt for this, so that's great. Definitely seems like they put a lot of detail in, and it looks like maybe, yeah, because they even put like some buttons in here, which they aren't painted as far as I can tell. I think it's just the shine off of the black from the light, but there is some buttons there, so that looks nice. Her arms here, it's kind of hard to tell, but in person when you look at it, it's I can't exactly tell you what the name is, but it's not messed up paint or anything. It's like she's wearing those little things that, you know, widowers kind of put over their heads when they're at a funeral. It's kind of like that, but it goes on their arms. Or if you ever seen like a goth chick wearing it, so like someone that looks just like this, like Nico here. So that's really cool. It's not sculpted or anything, unfortunately, but it is painted. But it does look pretty decent for being painted on, and how small a detail that is. So I'm really happy that they did that, because it adds to the figure detail wise. Looking down in her lower area, she's got this skirt, which is pretty nice. It's completely new sculpt as well. I don't think it's removable. It looks like it's probably glued on somewhere, I think, or it's probably part of her lower abdominal area. But it is nice. It doesn't really hinder the articulation of the legs too much, although she probably could get a little bit more movement going forward. But like I said, I don't know much about her, but I don't know if she's exactly like a super agile person, which I would imagine she probably is. But you know, it doesn't completely take away the articulation. It's just not the best, and it could be a little bit better. Coming down to the legs, she's got purple striped pants on, as you can see, which the paint looks a little bit sloppy in some spots, which I don't think is totally Hasbro's fault, but I guess that would be kind of their fault since it's quality control. And it could just be mine, it could be anyone's, but everyone usually has different types of quality control issues on their figures. For the most part, it doesn't look bad. The lines line up pretty decently, and there's really only problems going on in the back part of the legs, so it's not like you can totally see it from the front. And then finally, looking at her boots, completely new sculpted boots, which look really cool. She's got a ton of belt buckles and stuff going on down here. It looks like they kind of painted the buckles, but it's kind of hard to tell. This side's a little bit better. They painted the buckles, but that's really about it. I don't really know if there's supposed to be anything else that you could have painted there to make it look like bootstraps or buckles, but at least they did that, so you can kind of get an idea that there's buckles there. So that's nice. I really do like these boots, though. They're pretty cool. I think if I saw a girl wearing that would be probably a big bonus for me, I guess, for being attracted to them or something. I don't know. Anyways, what to talk about? Let's talk about the accessories real quick, I guess. So like I said, she comes with this staff, which I'm sure is what derives her of her powers. And then it comes with this little magic purple cloud thing, which in the box will already be put on, but I've never taken it out outside of this video. I think this is how it goes. This is cool. I like it like this. I would prefer to hold it like this, but like I said, that it's kind of heavy, and for her tiny little hands to get a grasp on it, it's kind of hard. And then since her wrist is a little bit loose, it kind of makes it heavy to the point where she can't really exactly hold it the best. And since this thing kind of wraps around the whole staff, and the staff gets a little bit larger as you go up, it's hard for her little hands to get a good grip on it. So that's kind of a problem. But once you get a good grip on it, maybe if you can get her hand kind of wedged in between the smoke part, kind of like this, it looks okay. But as you can see, the wrist is not strong enough to hold it. So if you can find a way to fix that by putting some glue maybe in the wrist joint, that might help. Otherwise, you might just have to take the little cloud effect off. But I think it looks better that way. And like I said, she does come with interchangeable arm. It's not too hard to pull out, but I am kind of afraid. I never really like interchangeable arms that much, just because I'm always afraid that they're gonna break. But you do just kind of have to tug it really hard to pull it out, and then it works. I'll probably just keep her like this because I think it looks cooler anyways. Gives her a little more detail and character. So talking about the articulation, she's on a ball hinge as well as a swivel. So her head looks up a pretty good amount. She looks down really good, rotates 360 degrees. She goes out and in at the shoulders. And see, and this is also a problem with the arms because it just popped out just trying to move the elbow. If it wasn't meant to do that, it probably wouldn't happen. But since it is supposed to pop out, I think it's going to be really easy for it just to pop out. So you might have to work the joint a little bit because this joint is pretty stiff, and it seems like this just kind of loosely fits in her arm. So just be careful of that because it could break. She rotates at the upper part of the shoulder. No bicep swivel, but she does have the elbow joint, which kind of acts as your elbow or your bicep swivel. With the gauntlet thing on, it only gets a little bit less than 90 degrees. With the elbow, or without the gauntlet on, she gets 90 degrees. And the arm has the same articulation here. And then the hand can swivel in and out and rotate. And same with this side, but you're not going to get as much of a hinge going on in the hand just because the sculpting kind of gets in the way. But she does rotate, so that's nice. She's got this upper diaphragm joint, which doesn't really move around other than rotating. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I don't really see her being someone that does like crazy movements and stuff. So it doesn't bother me too much, especially since I'm probably just going to have her standing anyways in my collection. It doesn't bother me too much, so I guess I can't totally complain, especially since it would totally break up the sculpt, I think, if it could. And I think it's just that the figure itself is so small, it's kind of hard to get movement like that. But anyways, coming down to the leg, and like I said, she doesn't have a waist swivel, but coming down to the legs, they go forward and back a little bit due to the skirt kind of hindering it. They go out and in. She's got an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and a hinge in the, or she's got a swivel in the boot, as well as a hinge in the foot and an ankle rocker. So overall, it's hard to, I mean, there's so many great figures in this wave. It's kind of hard to tell you which one's my favorite just yet. But she's definitely one that surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like her too much, at least body-wise, because I thought it was just going to be a straight-up repaint of the Spider-Girl figure and whatnot. But they actually went a little above and beyond with this figure, and I'm really happy they did because I think even though I don't know this character, I could definitely get down with a good figure that has detail and sculpt, which this figure definitely does. So if you find her, definitely pick her up. And even if you don't know her, or if you just want to, get everything in the collection or everything in the wave, definitely a good figure to have. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to finish the rest of the reviews once I get them in the mail. And then I'm going to continue on with some more figure reviews coming up after that. And I'm trying to get my new apartment set up so I won't have such a janky looking review station. But thank you for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.